glory. I'm not an IT specialist. I'm just a girl. Could this survive a hurricane?
I don't know where to begin. Could be the curves on your body, but then could be your hair, maybe your skin. Yeah.
Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Ree. Hi, on this channel we talk about a lot of things, mainly travel, life, and beauty. So if you're interested in those things, make sure you hit that subscribe big red button. You cannot miss it. We're back with another video. This one was requested by you guys. You guys wanted to hear more details on my Starlink, the process in terms of getting it. Just a full disclaimer, I do reside in the Bahamas, so I have my Starlink in the Bahamas, so I'll be speaking from that perspective. So do not come for me if it differs because of your different countries and stuff like that. So we're gonna get into the pros, we're gonna get into the cons, what I wish I knew, what I wish I didn't know, and all the good stuff. So if you're interested in hearing more, be sure to hit the thumbs up. That's important. And be sure to watch the moving vlog series where I set it up. I will link it down below. And yeah, just check out the other moving vlogs while you're there. It doesn't make sense for you to linger. Just focus, check it. You never know. It might be nice. Oh, kombucha's giving. Kombucha in a wine glass. Oh, she's perfection. She's the moment and she knows it. If you hear a little bit of ruffling in the back, that is my dog. I apologize, she's unstable. And if you hear a squeak, that's a toy. I'm so uncomfortable. Papa, please. And if you hear a slight echo, I ain't got no furniture. So unfortunately, that's just what you get. So just, focus, zone in. I provided those disclaimers for your safety and for your caution. That's just what it is. So I purchased my Starlink. I would have moved into this home, I would say now for about 3 months. I've had my Starlink. The purchase process and the initial setup of it all was, I would describe as super easy. So you just basically go on starlink.com. The good thing is it already picks up your geographical location based on your IP address. So I need to tell you guys what Starlink is. Probably just a brief little sentence. Starlink is basically a satellite-based internet system. It was set up or founded under SpaceX, which is under Elon Musk, which is the Tesla guy. Not me knowing my details and my facts, but yeah, it was designed to provide internet access to people in very rural or areas where there was low coverage. And I would define that as the Caribbean in some spaces, because the internet here, there's not a lot of options in terms of internet coverage. So the options that were provided could be defined as limited. And there are situations where sometimes you just have a breach in terms of the fiber connection from the actual internet provider. So then there are times where you sometimes go without no internet, especially during hurricanes as well. So I don't know about my fellow Bahamians and residents, but I want my internet to be on if it can be in certain situations and in certain trials and tribulations. So that's why I value having a stable internet source and provider. And I think Starlink provides that. I got introduced to Starlink from multiple friends, multiple. I've seen it in action even when I went to visit a friend's house as to how well the system was able to cover the entire house. And I decided, okay, I'm gonna give it a go type of thing, because I feel like it's good to make those steps towards modern technology. In the future, we're just going backwards. So going into Starlink, there was a high referral system already in place. So I feel like I'm catching up on the back end, but I still want to share this video for someone because I don't see a lot of people talking about it, especially in the Bahamas. I also noticed in my research as well that in islands that we call the family islands, which might be more not as densely populated as the capital, which is Nassau. So in your Grand Bahama, your Apico, your Aucklands, they're starting to use Starlink too because of how low the coverage is in those areas. And because our internet providers and our huge companies aren't able to provide internet in certain areas, Starlink doesn't have those problems. So literally it doesn't matter if your cable provider or internet provider has any sort of infrastructure set up in that island, you can still use Starlink. So it's amazing, and I just love it for that. So from the multiple referrals and the fact that you can use it on virtually anywhere, especially on like the Family Islands, I was like, oh, I gotta give this thing a try. So I ordered it. The process was super seamless on the Starlink site. Literally filled in my information. The initial setup, I believe I paid, I'll pop it up, but it was somewhere around 5 something. And that included the shipping as well. I think it ships from California directly to me in Nassau, Bahamas. And I just had to pick it up at my DHL. Sign and pick it up. That's it. And then I came home myself and set it up, which is really crazy. I'm not an IT specialist. I'm just a girl. So to be able to do that, wonderful. The setup process was super easy. Once again, I'll link that video down below with me struggling just a little bit, but setting it up in the end. What I noticed was immediately, this thing needs like access to the sky. So I had my initial limitations with learning what it can and cannot do. So at the beginning, I had the pain point of having to take the Starlink out to use it if I wanted internet coverage, and then bringing it back in so that nobody would cough, cough, take it or bother it while I'm not home. So that was a pain point until I was able to mount it. So I feel like for Starlink, there's 2 options. You can do a roof mount, or you can do a wall mount that kind of shoots up past like a vertical mount sort of thing. I opted for the vertical mount because I know at some point I want to do some roof work. So I don't want to mount it to the roof and then I'll have to lift it. But initially, what I would say is that I got like this cheap mount. I don't know if I showed you guys it from Amazon. That was not strong enough. The Starlink is heavy. So even like lifting it up, when I used to bring it outside and bring it inside, girl, she's not light. That is a workout. So you really need to have maybe the mount from the Starlink.com website, or you need to purchase something that is super sturdy from Amazon to be able to mount that. I had my electrician create a custom mount from galvanized pipe just to mount this thing. But now it's sturdy, she's secure, and she goes nowhere, even in like various winds and rains and whatever. What I also love about the Starlink, touching on the weather as well, it seems to be very weather resistant from what I've experienced, in terms of it can be a huge rainstorm, windstorm, and it seems to have minimal obstructions or breaches in terms of internet service, which I like. And it makes me think, could this survive a hurricane? Because if so, we got something going. Literally all you need is maybe a solar power generator, and now you have internet access in a hurricane. That's unheard of. So now I feel like the potential is there to see what it can do, and if it can withstand a hurricane force winds. Now I'm not saying send one my way, or I'm not saying that's something that I'm personally going to test out, but I'm just saying that would be interesting to see. But over time, when I was able to mount it up top near the roof, the coverage is insane. And then touching on cost just a little bit as well, monthly, the service fee I pay for my Starlink is about $70, which I don't feel like is too bad, because the service providers here for internet, I can be ranging for the same quality of internet. I range from 100 to 150. So there are savings. Everything is automatically pre-linked to your credit card, which is beautiful. You don't have to do anything. You don't have to think about it. They'll just take it out of your card every month, which is really great. So the system setup here now is pretty flawless. And if someone asks me would I recommend it going forward, the answer is 100% yes. But let me just say it's really my 98% yes. It's important to note that I have a slight challenge when it comes to the Starlink, and that is just like the little like Wi-Fi dead zones, or the fact that I need an extender. So the Starlink works perfectly. I have a 2-story townhouse. Glory. Come on now. You know when you say something and you get overwhelmed? Whoa, took me out. Okay, yeah. So I have a 2-story townhome. Upstairs, the Starlink runs perfectly because the router is upstairs. It's actually in my office, because I'm a smart girl. But downstairs in the kitchen where I am, the coverage is like barely there. So I need an extender for the first floor in order to pick up internet better down here. It picks up well for my Blink, which is my security system, and also my Ring doorbell. So it picks up on like little devices. It also works pretty well on my laptop. But for some reason for phones, like if I were to have people over, or even if I use my personal phone, that coverage isn't there. So I actually went ahead and purchased a TP-Link mesh Wi-Fi extender. I am praying and hoping that this is Starlink compatible because I didn't see anything on the website that had it. And for that to be my only pain point, I feel like that's pretty good. I literally only have one con. Another thing to mention as well is that on the Starlink app, you have access to everything. Access to your account, access to whether you're online, whether you're disconnected, how it's running. You can run speed tests, you can run obstruction tests. You can even shop on the Starlink.com site and look for like mounts or adapters, Ethernet cables, all of the fancy stuff. They have a lot of things on their site as well that people kind of like over time needed. And from learning from my personal experience, I'm always going to look at their Starlink shop stuff first versus Amazon, because on Amazon, girl, sometimes they just selling stuff. Like it's not a satellite dish mount, or it's not as light as a satellite dish mount. I need sturdy devices that probably the SpaceX and Musk and Mr. Musk himself have said, this is wonderful. So that's just something that I would recommend doing if you go into it. But y'all, I highly recommend. Get it. I love it. It is wonderful. That's it. And it just makes you look cooler too. So let me know if you have a Starlink, if you're interested in getting one for yourself, if you've seen it, if you have any other pro tips, cons, anything like that, drop it down below. I love a good conversation and I love to connect with you guys on it. But that is pretty much it for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. As always, I appreciate you. I value you. Yeah, you bad. I'll see you on the next one. Bye.